Welcome back to Fluent English Conversations podcast.
Imagine you are standing in a long line at a busy, noisy cafe. The line is moving fast, and suddenly it is your turn. You can hear the loud hissing sound of the espresso machine. The barista looks right at you, smiles, and waits for you to speak. Your heart starts beating faster in your chest. You look at the big menu on the wall, but the letters look confusing. You suddenly forget every English word you ever knew. You just want a simple, warm drink to start your day, but it feels like you are taking a stressful university math test. The people behind you are checking their watches. You feel pressure. If you have ever felt this sudden panic in a coffee shop, please take a deep breath right now. Drop your shoulders. You are completely normal, and your reaction is completely valid. Every language learner experiences this exact fear. We have all been there, standing at the counter with a blank mind.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our podcast. I am Emily, and I want to tell you a little secret. The first time I traveled abroad, I was so scared to order food that I only bought sandwiches from a supermarket for 3 days. So I truly understand that feeling of freezing up.
And I am Felix. Today, we are talking about something very close to our hearts. We are going to decode coffee culture and teach you how to survive ordering in English. Learning a language can feel exhausting. Sometimes your brain feels like a computer with too many tabs open. You just feel lazy or tired, and that is absolutely fine. You do not need to be a superhero to speak English well. You do not need to study for 5 hours a day. You just need small, gentle steps. A 5-minute audio lesson is a perfect step. So grab your favorite warm drink, sit back in a comfortable chair, and quietly relax. We are going to make this very easy.
Let us start with the absolute foundation. Before you can order confidently, you need to know what actually lives on the menu. We will keep this very simple, like a clean sponge soaking up pure water. You do not need to know 50 different drinks. You only need to know the basic ones. Let us look at the most common drinks you will find in any English-speaking country. First is the classic base of everything, the espresso. Espresso. An espresso is a very small, very strong shot of black coffee. It is like a tiny, powerful battery for your tired brain. You order this when you need to wake up immediately, and you do not have time to sit and relax. You just need quick energy.
Espresso. Yes, it is the base recipe for almost everything else in the cafe. If you put milk or water in a cup, you usually add an espresso shot to it. Next, we have the Americano. Americano. An Americano is just an espresso mixed with plain hot water. It is like taking that tiny, intense battery and stretching it out into a long, warm, comfortable blanket. It dilutes the strong taste. You order an Americano when you want a strong coffee flavor, but you want to drink it slowly. Maybe you want to sit by the window, watch the rain, and read a chapter of your favorite book. That is the perfect time for an Americano.
Americano. Exactly. Now let us talk about my personal favorite drink in the whole world, the latte. Latte. A latte is an espresso mixed with a lot of hot, steamed milk. There is only a tiny bit of foam on top. It is like a gentle, warm hug for your stomach on a cold morning. The milk makes the coffee taste very sweet and soft. If you want something soft and not too bitter, a latte is your absolute best friend. I order this when I need comfort.
Latte. That sounds so comforting, Emily. Then we have the cappuccino. Cappuccino. A cappuccino is very similar to a latte, but it has thick, bubbly milk foam on top. It is usually equal parts coffee, hot milk, and foam. It is like a coffee wearing a soft white winter hat. The foam feels very light and airy in your mouth. You drink this when you want a classic, cozy morning experience, maybe sitting outside with a fresh pastry or a croissant.
Cappuccino. And if you go to Australia, New Zealand, or the United Kingdom, you will definitely see the flat white. Flat white. A flat white is a smaller, stronger latte with much less milk and a very thin layer of foam. It is like a latte that went to the gym and got stronger. It has a very rich coffee flavor. People who really love the deep, dark taste of roasted coffee beans usually choose a flat white instead of a latte.
Flat white. But what if it is a hot summer day and you are sweating? You do not want a hot drink. Then you need a cold brew. Cold brew. This is coffee made very slowly with cold water over many hours, sometimes overnight. It is like jumping into a cool, refreshing swimming pool on a very hot July afternoon. It has a very smooth taste, it is never bitter, and it is always served over lots of clear ice. It is the ultimate summer drink.
Cold brew. Let us add one more lovely option. Sometimes you want coffee, but you also want a dessert. For that, you order a mocha. Mocha. A mocha is a latte mixed with sweet chocolate syrup. It is like a warm chocolate bar melting inside your coffee cup. It is rich, sweet, and feels very luxurious. If you are having a bad day and need a little bit of joy, a mocha will fix your mood.
Mocha. And finally, we have the Frappuccino. Frappuccino. This is a cold, blended drink with coffee, ice, milk, and sweet syrups, usually topped with whipped cream. It is like an ice cream dessert that just happens to have a little coffee hiding inside. It is blended in a machine until it is smooth and icy. You order this when you want a sweet, fun treat to make yourself happy after a long, difficult week of work.
Frappuccino. See? That was not so hard. You do not need to memorize a massive, heavy dictionary. Just pick your favorite drink from this tiny list and remember it. Find your personal drink. That is just one small step forward. When you walk into the cafe, you already know your goal.
Now let us talk about the actual conversation with the barista. The trick here is predicting the future. If you know exactly what they will ask you, your brain does not have to work so hard to translate. It is like knowing the rules of a simple board game before you start playing. You do not have to guess. The barista will usually start the interaction by saying, "What can I get for you today?" What can I get for you today? This simply means, what do you want to buy right now?
And your answer should always use a specific magic formula. This is very important for sounding polite in English. Do not just say, "I want a coffee," or "give me a coffee." In English, saying "I want" sounds a little bit like a demanding child. It is like a closed fist. Instead, you should use an open hand. You say, "Can I have a latte, please? Can I have a latte, please?" This phrase is incredibly polite and sounds completely natural. It is like opening a heavy door with a smooth golden key. It makes the barista smile.
Can I have a cold brew, please? Once you say your drink, the barista will ask you about the size. They will say, "What size would you like? What size would you like?" Normally, in most independent cafes, you just reply with small, medium, or large. But be careful, because some famous places, especially Starbucks, use confusing words. They use tall for small, grande for medium, and venti for large. It is like learning a tiny secret language just for that one shop. I remember the first time I went to a Starbucks, I ordered a tall coffee, thinking I would get a giant cup. I was very surprised when they handed me the smallest cup.
Oh, I did the exact same thing, Felix. I was so confused. But here is a comforting thought. If you forget their special words, do not panic. Just point to the paper cup sizes displayed on the counter and say, "That size, please." Or just use the words small, medium, or large. The barista knows exactly what you mean. Nobody will judge you, I promise. They just want to make your coffee and keep the line moving.
After the size, they might ask about the milk. This is very common in modern coffee culture. They will ask, "Would you like any milk alternatives?" Would you like any milk alternatives? This means, do you want milk made from plants instead of a cow? Things like oat milk, almond milk, or soy milk. You can simply reply, "Oat milk, please." Oat milk, please. Customizing your drink is completely normal. Do not feel bad for asking exactly what you want.
You know, Felix, I had a very funny realization the other day. I was at a local cafe and I clearly ordered an iced latte. But the barista was very busy, made a mistake, and gave me a hot latte. In the past, when my English confidence was lower, I would just take the hot drink. I would walk away feeling sad, frustrated, and sweating because I was drinking hot coffee in the summer. I always felt too shy to correct native speakers. I thought my English was the problem.
I think many of our listeners feel exactly like that. We assume it is our fault, or we do not want to create a conflict. We accept the wrong order just to escape the social situation quickly.
Exactly. But then I learned a wonderful, gentle phrase to fix problems without any conflict at all. You just say, "Actually, I asked for an iced latte." Actually, I asked for an iced latte. Starting your sentence with the word actually makes the correction very soft and polite. It is like placing a soft cushion on the floor before you drop a heavy box. It takes away all the tension and shows that it is just a tiny misunderstanding.
Actually, I asked for oat milk. That is a brilliant tip, Emily. It completely normalizes making mistakes. Baristas are tired humans who have been standing on their feet for hours. They hear hundreds of orders a day. They make mistakes all the time. And we are humans. We make language mistakes all the time. There is absolutely no need for panic or guilt on either side. Just use the word actually, smile, and they will happily fix it.
And let me add one more troubleshooting phrase. Sometimes you want a special adjustment to your drink. Maybe you hate cold coffee, but the cafe always serves it slightly warm. You can ask nicely by saying, "Could you make it extra hot, please? Could you make it extra hot, please?" This is a great chunk of language. You start with, "Could you make it?" and then add your request. You could also say, "Could you make it half sweet, please?" It is a very soft, polite request.
Could you make it extra hot, please? Now, speaking of removing panic and practicing these phrases, I want to share a little psychological life hack with our listeners. Sometimes simply hearing English phrases in a podcast is not enough. You can listen to us for hours, and your brain knows the words perfectly. But when you stand in front of a real person, your mouth refuses to say them out loud. It feels blocked. It is like having the right software installed on your computer, but your keyboard is temporarily broken. The connection is missing.
That is a perfect analogy. The software is there, but the physical hardware needs training. And the solution for this is a practice method called shadowing. Shadowing means you have to speak out loud together with us. You hear the phrase, and immediately you repeat it using your own voice, your own throat, your own tongue. It builds muscle memory.
Yes, let us do a tiny, safe experiment right now. Imagine I am the friendly barista standing in front of you. I am wearing a green apron and holding a cup. I will ask you a question, and I will leave a quiet, empty pause in the audio. I want you, the listener, to answer me out loud wherever you are right now. Are you sitting on a sofa? Are you walking in the park? Are you driving your car? Do not be shy. Nobody is watching you. Just speak the words into the air. Are you ready? Let us start. Hi there. What can I get for you today? Did you say, "Can I have a latte, please?" Great job. Let us continue. What size would you like? Did you say medium, please? Excellent. You are doing perfectly. Let us do one more. Would you like any milk alternatives? Did you say oat milk, please? Perfect. Doing this physical practice is like walking down an overgrown, grassy path in the forest. The first time you walk it, the grass is tall and it is difficult to move. But the more times you walk down it, the clearer and easier the path becomes. Soon, it is a smooth road. That is what shadowing does to your brain.
I love that forest path metaphor. Now, we must remember that coffee is not just a dark liquid we drink for energy. In many cultures, especially in English-speaking countries, it is a powerful social tool. It acts as a comfortable wooden bridge between two people. If you want to talk to someone, you do not invite them to sit in an empty room. You invite them for coffee. Let us look at some everyday conversational phrases that use the word coffee to build relationships.
The first one is incredibly useful for networking or making friends. It is, "Let us grab a coffee sometime." Let us grab a coffee sometime. This is a casual, low-pressure invitation to hang out with someone. It is like casting a very light, friendly fishing net into the water. There is zero pressure on the other person to say yes immediately or set a specific date. The word sometime makes it very relaxed. If you want to make a new friend at your new office, just smile when you are leaving and say, "Hey, it was nice talking to you. Let us grab a coffee sometime."
Let us grab a coffee sometime. I use that phrase all the time. It is so much easier than inviting someone for a big, formal dinner. A coffee date is short. If the conversation is boring, you can drink your coffee quickly and leave after 30 minutes. It is very safe. Another really great daily phrase is, "I need my morning coffee." I need my morning coffee. This simply means your brain is not awake yet, and you cannot handle complex problems right now.
It is exactly like a smartphone screen flashing a red, low battery warning. Your system is shutting down. You can say this to your family when they ask you difficult questions at 7 in the morning. Imagine your partner asks you to fix the internet router before you have even opened your eyes properly. Just smile patiently, point to your empty cup, and say, "Please wait. I need my morning coffee." It sets a gentle boundary without starting an argument.
I need my morning coffee. And what happens if you had a terrible, restless night of sleep? Maybe your dog was barking or you were worried about work. You wake up feeling terrible. You can say, "I am running on coffee today." I am running on coffee today. This is a very visual phrase. It means coffee is the only fuel keeping your physical body moving.
It is like a car driving with a completely empty gas tank, powered only by magic, hope, and caffeine. The engine is making weird noises, but it is still rolling. It is a fantastic way to admit you are deeply tired without sounding angry, dramatic, or complaining. If your boss says, "You look a bit tired today," you can laugh and reply, "Yes, I only slept for 4 hours. I am running on coffee today." It shows you are still trying your best.
I am running on coffee today.
And here is a very modern, popular phrase you will often see online or on social media. Coffee is my love language. Coffee is my love language. A love language is the specific way you like to show affection. So this phrase means that buying or making someone a coffee is how you show you truly care about them. It is not about romantic love. It is about deep care and attention.
It is like handing someone a tiny, warm, edible bouquet of flowers. You noticed they were tired, and you took action to help them. If your partner magically brings you a fresh latte in bed on a rainy Sunday morning, you do not just say thank you. You can sigh happily, take a sip, and say, "Oh, coffee is my love language." It makes the moment feel very special and cozy.
Coffee is my love language. It really is a beautiful way to care for people. You know, Felix, the more we talk about this, the more I realize how deep food vocabulary goes in English. We use drinks to explain human psychology.
That is exactly right, Emily. And that brings me to two more advanced expressions that I recently discovered. They mention hot drinks, but they have a much deeper psychological meaning. You do not use these in a cafe. You use them in life. They are perfect for taking your English vocabulary to the next, more native-sounding level. The first one is wake up and smell the coffee. Wake up and smell the coffee.
Oh, I have heard this one in movies. It sounds a bit serious. What exactly does it mean?
This means you need to stop daydreaming and look at the harsh, true reality of a situation. You are ignoring facts, and someone needs to gently shake you awake. It is like someone suddenly opening the heavy, dark curtains in a dark bedroom to let the bright morning sunlight in. It hurts your eyes for a second, but you need to see the truth. For example, imagine your friend thinks they can pass a difficult university exam without opening a single book or attending any classes. They think they are a genius. You can gently but firmly tell them, wake up and smell the coffee. You really need to study tonight or you will fail.
Wake up and smell the coffee. I absolutely love that one. It is very honest, but it is not cruel. It is a reality check wrapped in a familiar metaphor. What is the second advanced phrase you found?
The second one uses tea instead of coffee, but it belongs in the same family of hot beverages. It is not my cup of tea. Not my cup of tea. This is a beautifully polite, British-style way to say you do not like something, or you do not enjoy a specific activity. Instead of saying, I hate this, which sounds very aggressive, negative, and harsh, you simply say, it is not my cup of tea.
It is like gently pushing a plate of strange food away instead of throwing it on the floor. It is about respect.
Exactly. If someone invites you to go to a very loud, crowded, terrifying heavy metal music concert, you do not have to insult their favorite music. You do not say, that music is terrible. You can just smile gracefully, shake your head, and say, thank you for the invite, but heavy metal is just not my cup of tea. It perfectly protects the other person's feelings while still firmly protecting your own personal boundaries and preferences.
Not my cup of tea. That is so elegant and mature. Let us add one more tea idiom since we are here. A very modern one that younger people use all the time is spill the tea. Spill the tea. In modern slang, tea means gossip, drama, or interesting hidden news. So when you tell someone to spill the tea, you are asking them to share the secret story.
It is like a teacup that is so full of hot secrets that it has to spill over the edge. If your friend comes back from a very dramatic date and says, You will not believe what happened. You can lean forward and say, "Oh wow, spill the tea, tell me everything." It is a fun, playful way to ask for details.
Spill the tea. Well, Felix, we have covered a massive amount of ground today. We traveled from simple espresso shots all the way to complex social idioms. We gave our listeners a lot of new tools.
We really did. But listeners, please remember our rule. You do not have to memorize all of these phrases right now. Do not write them all down and force yourself to study them tonight. Language learning is not a stressful race to the finish line. There is no monster chasing you. It is just a slow, pleasant walk through a beautiful new neighborhood. You look at the houses, you smell the flowers, and you naturally learn the streets.
If you only remember one single phrase from today's entire episode, that is a huge victory. Maybe you just remember how to say oat milk, please. That is perfect. Give yourself full permission to learn slowly, to forget words, and to make mistakes. A clean sponge can only hold so much water at one time. When it is full, you just have to stop and rest.
Absolutely. We are so incredibly proud of you for just showing up and listening to this audio today. It is very easy to watch a funny video instead of studying. Opening the podcast app, pressing play, and listening to native speakers takes real mental effort. You are doing a wonderful job.
Now, we would genuinely love to connect with you and practice some output. What is your absolute favorite coffee order when you go to a cafe? Do you like it hot or iced? Or maybe you are completely a tea person and coffee is not your cup of tea? Please write your exact order in the comments section below using the phrase we learned today. Type, "Can I have a," and finish the sentence.
We sit down with our own cups of coffee and read every single comment. It really feels like we are having a massive global coffee date with thousands of you around the world. It is the best part of our week.
And if this podcast episode felt like a warm, comforting latte for your tired brain today, please take 1 second to hit the like button. It quietly helps our small channel grow and allows us to reach more people who might be struggling with English anxiety. Share this episode with a friend, a family member, or a colleague who is also trying to learn English. You can even practice your shadowing techniques together the next time you visit a real cafe.
Do not forget to subscribe to the channel so you never miss our simple, natural English conversations. We build these lessons specifically to help you feel confident and relaxed. Take wonderful care of yourselves this week. Drink plenty of water, get enough sleep, and be very, very gentle with your own mistakes.
And we will see you next time for another easy conversation. Bye, everyone.
Have a wonderful, peaceful day. Goodbye.